Jon Stewart found to have overvalued his New York City home by 829% after slamming Trump's civil case as not victimless. Oh, shit. All right, folks, call it. Do you think it's completely made up, or do you think that Jon Stewart, being a wealthy person, is materially incentivized to do bad things as well? Let me see if I can find an actual source on it. It's absolutely made up. Well, of course you would say that, Benjamin. You've tanked your credibility. You're a Jon Stewart stan. He sold it for that much, no loan involved. Wait, really? That's what the claim, that not that he overvaluated it to leverage it on a loan, but rather that he overvaluated it on a sale. That's not a crime. That's just being a good salesman. What? He did fraud by selling the house at a higher price. Really? Okay, what's the article? Jon Stewart is facing backlash, saying the price of a previous home sale finds Stewart doing the exact same thing. Okay, they are literally comparing selling a home at an appreciated price to overvaluing a property for leveraging a loan. Okay. If he sold it, it means an appraiser probably agreed with that valuation. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, if you sell it, you sell it. There's a difference between overvaluing a property for leveraging it for a loan and selling it. Like, there's a huge difference, you know? Like, one is fraud, one is just selling it. That's the trick, though. Trump's defense was if he could find a Saudi billionaire to buy a property for that price, then it was worth that price. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it was worth that price, like, from an objective evaluation. Or, like, just because somebody says they'll pay any price for a product or for a property doesn't mean that you can say that something is valued at any amount when you're trying to leverage it, you know? But Jon Stewart did sell it at that price. That's the difference. Jon Stewart didn't just vaguely refer to like, oh, somebody might buy it at this price, therefore I can leverage it. He just did sell it at the price. That's not overvaluing it. That's just selling it. Trump was found liable for falsifying business records in the second degree, issuing false financial statements, insurance fraud, conspiracy, all due to asset inflation. But it didn't take long for internet sleuths to look at Stewart's own property history, which shows an overvaluation of his New York City penthouse by a staggering 829%. How is it an overvaluation if that's the price that it was sold at? Is that not just its valuation from the person who then bought it? How is it an overvaluation if that's the value the person who bought it at? In 2014, Stewart sold his 6,280 square foot Tribeca duplex to financier Parag Pandey for $17.5 million. The property's asking price at that time is not available in the listing records, but according to 2013 to 2014 assessor records obtained by the Post, the property has an estimated market value of only $1.8 million. The actual assessor valuation was lower. That's not relevant for a sale. That's not relevant for the sale. Records also show that Stewart paid significantly lower property taxes, which were calculated based on the assessor valuation price. That's not a crime. The assessor valuation price is what calculates the property taxes. That's how it works. The fact that they hadn't been assessed recently is just a product of the system. That's not lying or fraud. None of this is a crime. I mean, it's still like rich people money shenanigans, which, of course, Jon Stewart is obviously wealthy, right? Like, there's no getting around that. But there's a huge difference between that and lying about the value of your property. Keep in mind, by the way, Trump didn't just lie about the value of his property. Trump lied about shit like square footage and like deed rights and stuff. Trump has lied not just about like subjective evaluations, but also of like empirical factual things. Some states have property assessment value increase limits. Not sure if this applies to risk. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'm sure it's like a legal, labyrinthine, it's a whole thing. Also, Stewart would have paid sales tax, so what he paid in property tax is irrelevant. Don't get me wrong. I do want wealthy people with expensive properties to pay a property tax that is proportional to the actual value of the property that they own. It seems like the evaluation hadn't been done in quite some time, so it was relying on an older estimate. I do want that, but none of this is a crime. So the problem is that Jon Stewart did it correctly and Trump didn't. Well, they did two different things because Jon Stewart wasn't leveraging anything on a loan. Panda, who purchased the penthouse from Stewart, then resold the property at a nearly 26% loss at just over $13 million. Damn, seems like Jon Stewart's a really, really, really good salesman then. For the company that he sold it to hold out in it for like 8 years and then sell it at a loss. Yeah, art of the deal, baby. Tim Pool tried to drag Stewart for this. Well, of course, Tim Pool, known journalist, is being cited in this New York Post article. Did Jon Stewart commit fraud when he sold his penthouse for $17.5 million? New York lists its market value at $1.8 million. Who did he defraud? I am shocked. Shocked. Well, that's not what defrauding is. He did something scummy, not illegal. No. What he did wasn't even scummy. Like, Jon Stewart took advantage of the fact that he was paying property taxes based on an older valuation of his property. Nothing he did was even scummy. Like, this isn't even morally questionable. It's literally just he sold the property at a high price. Here's an article from back in 2014 about the house sale. Oh my god, what the hell? Members go up for making the members go up. Thank you for the 100 gifted tier 1 subs. Jesus Christ, blanking out the screen. Vaush found to have overvalued his subscriptions by 1,000%. Well, that's not true. Members go up. The value of being a subscriber is indescribable. Thank you so goddamn much. Jesus H. Christ. I really appreciate that. Thank you. The members did go up. White names. Afuera. Yeah. Do that again with the tier 4 subs. Let's not push our luck, Sleepy Joe Biden. We love our orange names. Yeah. A fraud being committed here, you know? Would he pay any sort of capital gains taxes for the jump in... Capital gains taxes aren't done on property. Capital gains taxes are done, like, with regards to, like, stock assets and such. Property's its own thing. But he paid sales tax when he sold the property. Thank you again, Members Go Up. That was very, very kind of you. Gotta be lucky, Kitty Ichigo. Oh my god, MSNBC is attacking Jon Stewart. Okay, we'll take a look. Meanwhile, the New York assessor valuation on Stewart's former penthouse is the same citation method and metric the New York Attorney General Letitia James used to value Trump's private and personal properties, then sued him for inflating those assets. Yes, what matters is when those assessments, when those valuations are made. If it's an older valuation, then it'll undervalue a property. And also, there's a difference between selling it and leverage. You need to be accurate when you're leveraging a property, so you're not lying to the bank about how much it's worth, how much you can leverage it for. But if you're selling a property, you know, if a person's willing to buy it, well, Zelbuge, you know, my audience might not know very much about economics. In fairness, who does? But we seem to know more than the New York Post. What is this? Jon Stewart's about face on Trump jokes is quietly meaningful. Oh, this isn't about the thing. This is a different thing. But it's from yesterday. Apology for what? Those critics were upset at Stewart for dangerously and inappropriately perpetuating both sides when it came to dragging Joe Biden. Oh, yeah. A bunch of liberals got super mad at Joe Biden. Sorry, not Joe Biden. I wish they got mad at Joe Biden. A bunch of liberals got super mad at Jon Stewart when he said that both of our presidential candidates in the 2024 presidential election are ancient and decrepit and so on and so on. A bunch of them got really mad at pointing out that obvious fact, you know? The DNC demands you ignore the evidence of your eyes and ears. If you look at, like, looking at Joe Biden talk and noticing that he sounds decrepit and he's dying, like, right in front of you, that's a crime. You can't do that. You're not allowed to. You can't do that. That's making Trump win if you point that out, you know? Asking, why did the DNC push for Joe Biden to be their one only real candidate, even though he wasn't that popular, and also, you know, it was kind of signaled, at least by some aides, he was only going to be a one-term president, and also he's super old, and there were other people that could have pushed. Why? That's a crime. Can't ask that. Okay, what is this? Wayback Machine? John Biden sells Tribeca penthouse for 17.5 mil. Most expensive sale of the week. Stewart raked in a serious profit. Okay, yeah. It's not a crime. Did Joe Biden invent inflation? Yes. Vaush, I figured out what they're lying about. When he bought it in 2005, he bought 2 units for $5.8 million. He then combined those adjacent units into one penthouse, which was later valued at 17.5. So not only was it renovated, it was a whole new property from when he bought it. Ah, that makes sense. Okay, so the massive jump in the value of the property isn't just from inflation and also from just housing in general getting more expensive. It's also because he renovated it and combined 2 units into a penthouse. That makes sense. Man, it's a pretty good move on his part, doing a bit of house flipping, you know? Seeing as how he bought combined units 9A and 8B back in 2005 for a mere 5.8 million, that's a 201.1% profit. Wait, for 5.8 million, but the New York Post article said he got it for only 1 point something million, 1.8. So are they listing the price of only one of the 2 units that he bought? So they're listing only, but he bought 2, but they're listing the price of only 1 and pretending the valuation was the same. Oh, so this was lying on like multiple levels. Even if what they were saying was completely true, it would still neither be illegal nor immoral. But then they also lied. Yeah, look. But according to 2013-2014 assessor records obtained by the Post, the property had estimated market value only 1.8 million. Does it say, even in the documentation they provided, what the property address? It might be here, but I wouldn't know how to look at it. Estimated market value 1.8, 1.9. Land and total. Yeah, it doesn't say whether it's like for the 1 unit or for the 2. So they don't believe number could go up. This is dishonest on like 17 levels. Socialists can make money, tier BS. Well, they're just lying to defend Trump, you know, it's whatever. Like, Trump's been incredibly accused of sexual assault by a bunch of women, you know, so they'd be like, well, have you considered the fact that in 2019, here's like a text log uncovered by the Post of you striking out with a girl at a bar? Who's the threat to women now, you know? Yeah, the only thing I'm getting from this is that Jon Stewart is significantly better than Donald Trump at the thing Donald Trump is known for.